What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield. Joining me this week is Justin Davis. Tina Amini's back.
Hello.
And Marty Sleeva's here. And we've got a great show for you this week. We're going to talk about Castlevania a little bit more. I know we talked about it last week, but it's back in the news. Maybe not for the reasons you were hoping. We're going to talk about Shenmue 1 and 2 and 3. But first, let's talk about Call of Duty, a series I find fascinating. I love following, even though I do not play those games. But Call of Duty is still the biggest game in the world, at least in terms of traditional AAA boxed products. It was the best-selling game of 2017. And now come rumors that this year's Call of Duty, which we know is Black Ops 4, and already has a release date, I believe, October 13th, rumors that it will not have a campaign. Multiplayer-only Call of Duty this year.
What?
Also known as
What?
Call of War.
Yeah, Call of War.
That's what?
What was their tag? It was like their tagline was "Forget what you know." Or
Yeah,
something
forget
like
everything
that?
you know, I think, yeah. Which
Including a traditional 6 to 8 hour single player campaign.
Yeah. So this is interesting to me for a number of reasons. Call of Duty has always had a campaign, and they're generally pretty well received, right? I know, like, it's
One or two controversial moments.
Yeah.
controversial moments, sure. And it has long been fun to hate on Call of Duty, even though it sells really well every year. But I think in general, for the most part, the campaigns are well received.
I enjoyed World War II's campaign. Like
Yeah,
the video
just
game,
last
not
year's,
the historical event. But yeah, the interesting thing about this in the report that Chris Plant had over at Polygon is that this wasn't a decision from the get-go that Treyarch was like, we're not doing single player. It's that at some point in development, we don't know if it was recently or if it was last year, they were like, hey, this isn't coming together in time. And so a decision had to be made to either scrap it or release something that is not up to standards. And honestly, Treyarch has generally released the highest quality Call of Duty games since Black Ops 1. The name Black Ops in my mind has sort of as much sway now as Call of Duty. And so I kind of understand where they're coming from when it comes to this.
It's a kill your babies thing, the
Yeah.
go to developer standard.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
The quote from the source was that as they were nearing their release date, it became evident that development on the single-player campaign wouldn't be completed.
Yep.
So I wonder if that means it would come later, like after launch? Like maybe they're still
DLC.
working on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how
Free update
weird would it be
post-launch?
if there's like an update in spring where it's just like, oh, and here's this 7-hour campaign starring Skeet Ulrich. I don't know why.
I hope so.
I mean, it's
Scoop.
the Black Ops campaigns in particular are just completely off the wall and insane, and so it's a shame that like this is the one that
Yeah.
that does away with it.
It was clearly all the think pieces about how single player is no longer what's profitable.
Single player's dead.
I mean,
Single player's
Yeah.
dead.
I mean,
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
obviously, obviously it's not dead, but we do keep seeing examples of AAA publishers either ignoring it or just leaving it behind.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Visceral Star Wars game, right?
Yeah, for sure. But then you also, Zelda gets 10s everywhere and gets
Yeah.
Game of the Year, and we just
God
got
of
God of
War.
War a 10.
And then Fortnite is the biggest game, and PUBG following
So,
on the
yeah.
heels
Speaking of,
that, and
Yeah.
Speaking of,
And then speaking of that, Jason Schreier then reported that he kind of confirmed what Chris Plant heard, and also said that Raven, which was it's sort of a support team in Wisconsin that has been working on multiplayer for the past couple games, is doing this game's battle royale mode. Which it's not surprising to me that Call of Duty is going to get a battle royale mode.
No.
Yep.
But B, do you think that could end up being its third pillar? So if the three pillars were zombies, multiplayer, and single player, now it is traditional multiplayer, zombies, and whatever the hell this Raven battle royale mode is.
Well, and it also sounds like they're going to salvage what they can from single player and turn it into kind of a co-op. I forget the name of the mode, but they've always had the the little bite-sized co-op missions you could go through. And the side ops or whatever.
Side
they
ops,
call it.
yeah. No, Spec Ops was an entirely different video.
And so if they,
It's wrong.
I can understand, although I'm disappointed with the decision, I can understand the decision of like, it's not done. The amount of time and money it would cost us to finish this, like someone had to make the decision to cut single player. But if they still have these completed or nearly completed set piece moments, these insane single player events, like to pull them back into the experience in a way that like, they don't require you to stitch together, an 8-hour narrative. It's like, well, okay, better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe that is what was more memorable about them anyway, is the event quality rather than the narrative. So it's something that like, why spend all of this time and more energy and more resources on this when it could just be like these bite-sized experiences?
Yeah, it always
future DLC.
boggles my mind. It's like the amount of time and money spent on a set piece in a single player game that is only seen once. Most people only play through a game once. Whereas if you put those time and resources towards the systems that go into a battle royale mode where all of a sudden you can sell cosmetic items for as long as you want. Like, it just seems like that makes more sense, and that sucks. Like, I hate to be talking about this like purely through numbers, but I kind of get it.
That's how people at Activision.
Well, yeah, and we've seen that recent single player only shooters haven't sold very well, even if they've been good. So stuff like Prey and stuff like Wolfenstein 2, like, we love them, but they barely crack the top 10s the month they come out, and then they drop in price a couple months later.
Yeah, I mean, we should point out, I mean, I know you said this, but this is just a rumor, and the game's being revealed next month, and there's a chance that they'll say, yeah, and there's a full campaign. Like,
that'd be
Joke's
wild.
on you guys.
Yeah. Suck it, plant.
No, or there's going to be, I mean, who knows what.
Sure.
But they have the data. They've had the data for years that many millions of people continue to play multiplayer for months and months and months, and, you know, Black Ops 2 and 3 for years after the game came out, whereas the campaign is done. And but to really put their money where their mouth is and to cut it, like, I don't know, like, it's risky. Like, it's a really risky thing to do.
But at the same time, Call of Duty's been around for so long, like, maybe that's what they need to do in their minds. It's like take some of these risks, because in a way it's like innovative.
I mean, there hasn't been a seismic change in the series since Modern Warfare 1, which was Call of Duty 4, which was 2007, I think. That was the past.
Yeah, it's just whenever they show off the new Call of Duty game, they show the campaign, right? So it's weird.
And you have people like
big name actors.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Skeet Ulrich.
Yeah, just like
coming on stage at E3.
Well, maybe in those like side op missions, you can still have them like as NPCs making
Yeah.
They'll do it as
appearances.
zombies too.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I'm just really curious. I'm curious how, if this is true, how Activision messages it. Like, how do you tell people that they're not getting a single player
How do they
campaign?
We're like
frame it as
Fortnite now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
How do
honestly,
they,
maybe.
How do they frame it as a positive?
Yeah.
And then how do they charge $60?
Sure. And I don't know if maybe that means all those resources that would have been going towards a campaign are now going towards bolstering multiplayer stuff, which, you know, that could be a wise move, especially with the glut of other multiplayer games that, I mean, this fall people are still going to be playing PUBG and Fortnite. We heard rumors of Halo 6. Red Dead's going to be out, you know, just 2 weeks after Call of Duty. So people are at no shortage of things to spend their time on online.
Yeah, I don't know. I every year I wonder, is this the year that Call of Duty is not the best-selling game of the year? I don't know.
Red Dead? Cowboys?
Yeah, it could be. I'm always very fascinated by just the Call of Duty meta of like the sub franchises rising and falling. Like Modern Warfare sort of ran its course, and they tried Ghosts and it didn't really work. Like if Ghosts would have sold well, there absolutely would have been a Ghost 2 and 3. But like as you said, Black Ops is now sort of the premier Call of Duty sub franchise. When they go back, so World War II, you know, brought the franchise back to life following Infinite Warfare. You gonna do World War II too?
World War II too? Yeah.
Also.
World War also?
You gonna do?
Ballerinas on the
Yeah.
battlefield.
Ooh. I just want a game called Ballerinas on the Battlefield.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's good. My favorite comment on the article, our news article for this, was more like Call of Duty Lack Ops.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Should we hire? We have an open
Kudos.
PlayStation editor position. We should hire this person. I like that a lot.
Commenter's name is Office Gerbil. They're hired. Let's just say they're hired.
Wow. Wait, can we have an office gerbil?
Start in the office next week.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. This is happening very quickly.
You mentioned there's also rumors that this Black Ops 4 will have a battle royale mode. Today also comes rumors that the next Battlefield 5, Battlefield V, whatever it's called, is currently prototyping a battle royale mode. As well.
No, of course they are.
Yeah,
This is gonna be E3. This is our life now.
it's interesting. Like these would be the first like big AAA publishers, making a battle royale game. But it's like we're talking about this is 6 months out, before these games are out, and that's kind of a long time.
Sure.
But they get to hedge by it's just a mode in like a bigger game.
Yeah, it's like
It's also wild that like when you think of the big battle royale games now between PUBG and Fortnite and then now
Radical Heights.
Radical Heights, like
not on
none
the
of those
same
games
level.
are good looking.
Say none of them are.
They don't look good. They're not like
I think Fortnite is like colorful.
It's colorful, it's stylish, but none of them are like, oh my god, this is like the best looking game of the year. Whereas a traditional Battlefield or a Call of Duty game are among the prettiest games on the market. So the idea of taking this new massive genre and then making it look as good as a Call of
Giving
Duty.
it that AAA treatment.
Yeah, exactly. And Battle Royale makes a lot more sense to me in Battlefield because those are already giant maps. They already have aerial combat, and you're already jumping out of planes.
Yeah.
But in Call of Duty, I don't know how that works. Also, is it still first person? Because none of these Battle Royale games are first person.
That's true.
That's their twist. That's what they bring to the genre.
I don't care about Battle Royale games really very much. I mean, I guess I should say that I don't care about PUBG and Fortnite. Like, they just don't speak to me on a personal level. But I'm shocked that it's taken this long, honestly. Not from a AAA standpoint, but like I'm just so surprised that Steam isn't overrun with just dozens and dozens of Battle Royale games.
I mean, I think there are quite a few of them, but
yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel. I mean, that's
maybe it's just a thing that so many people are playing Fortnite and PUBG that you just don't hear about the clones because it's also like usually a clone is like a quick free cash grab. It's like, well, you could just download Fortnite on your phone for free. You don't.
I'm sure there's a ton of garbage in the iOS store too. Like
iPhone trash.
There is iPhone garbage. There's it is unclear whether Battle Royale is like the sum total of people that play PUBG and Fortnite. Like, is that the number of people on Earth that care about Battle Royale games? Like, or will it keep growing?
Yeah.
Like I feel like a game like League of Legends or Dota probably has a hard, like, how many people are downloading Dota 2 and playing it for the very first time? Like, is Battle Royale going to fall into that trap, or is it going to be something that, is it just going to be a thing that's around for decades? Like, it's a little unclear to me. Like, whether that group of people can keep growing.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say it's probably too early to predict one way or another.
Yeah, the cool thing about it being in Call of Duty or Battlefield or both is that it is just one mode. And I think like people are always craving something new and exciting to do. And even if it is a flop, it still like adds some kind of value, some like new experience.
Yeah.
But if it's just a mode, I wonder why couldn't they just add it to World War II?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, maybe that game just wasn't structured. Like 100 people is nothing to sneeze at. Like they probably have to do some engineering.
Yeah.
Trickery.
I'm like legit. I assume we're going to see Battle Royale versions of a lot of very well-known franchises. Like, again, I see it implemented into.
Super excited. Give me some Battle Royale card battler. I'll be there day one.
How's that work?
I don't know.
And Battle Royale. That would be amazing.
Hearthstone Royale.
I don't know how does that work?
I don't know.
Let's
We're like the least like Witness Royale. The island keeps getting smaller and smaller. There's still just more dense puzzles.
They're just like
I want to match 3 puzzler. I want Puzzle Quest Royale.
Puzzle Quest Royale. Candy Crush Royale.
Were you the one who your game was a Battle Royale, but every time someone dies, everyone just gets louder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Instead of the map getting smaller, they just scream louder and louder.
Yeah.
So it's like,
every footstep, you're like,
oh God.
What's that game where as you kill people, you get bigger?
Yeah.
Was that what you just said?
No.
What a game was
There
that?
was a shooter that they showed during Nintendo Direct, where every time you get shot, your like limbs get bigger.
Yeah.
And so it's like 2 kaijus end up fighting near the end. It's just very uncomfortable.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was as you get shot, you get smaller, and so then that's the game's way of like naturally balancing.
And as you shoot people, you're getting bigger and easier to hit.
Gotcha.
You have to look up what that game was.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will be revealed next month. We'll find out whether or not it does have a campaign or not. We'll get to the bottom of this. And there's also a new trailer for a new game coming next month, but I don't know if that's something we can share yet, Marty, that you and I are going to look at. Is that a thing that we can share yet?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a new trailer for a game coming next.
I didn't know what you were talking about for quite
you
a
know,
bit.
right?
And then now I do. Yes, I accepted that calendar invite. It was very early in the morning.
Everything's secret on this show. Yeah. Everything's on lockdown here.
That's fine.
All right, moving on. A new Castlevania game was announced this week, but before you get excited, it is for iOS. Let's just get that out there first. I feel like the comment section for this news article was just like the Grandpa Simpson gif of just coming into the
the rise and fall of people's interests as they read that headline.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, the headline didn't note that it was an iOS game. They didn't realize that until they were in the article. So
thanks,
we had some unhappy customers. Anyway, it's called Castlevania Grimoire of Shadow. It's for iOS. Yeah, I know.
Said with much disdain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a 2D like platforming game, and I definitely don't want to play that with a touchscreen D-pad.
It's like multiplayer focused.
It's built for cooperative play. There's also a competitive element. It kind of sounds like Harmony of Despair, the Castlevania for Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah, I remember
a number of
Castlevania
years ago.
game.
Yeah, that one is lost. And that game was actually pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So I would be open for this sort of game coming back now, but I don't want to play it on iOS.
You know what they should do, Damon?
Give it to Nintendo.
Put it on the Switch.
They should put it on the Switch. Well, it's like we were just talking about last week about what developers should take over Konami's games, because Konami doesn't seem particularly interested in making them anymore. And I said Nintendo should just take Castlevania since they make Metroidvania. They make Metroid games anyway.
Yeah,
it'd make a lot of sense.
Man, this is Konami. What are you doing?
It looks good.
But I feel like visually it looks good, right? It doesn't look like trash.
I feel like Konami is just like a monkey's paw. where it's like, hey, you're getting Metal Gear 3 and the Fox engine. I'm like, what? And then they're like, oh, it's a pachinko machine. You're like, why? Why are you doing this?
If it was just a component piece to like a bigger game and it's like this like side adventure that might actually add to like a bigger core game.
Totally down for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like inherently Castlevania on iOS isn't necessarily like doomed from the start. It could be cool. Like kind of how Nintendo does things, even though it's been kind of hit or miss with their iOS titles too.
I guess that we thought the same thing. Like Mario on iOS seemed really dumb, but the Mario one was perfectly fine.
That's what I'm so over people just bagging on mobile games just because. But that said, certain genres are better suited for touch controls than others.
There has been a mobile Castlevania game before, and it was a puzzle game. It was actually pretty cool.
Oh, interesting.
It was like a match 3 puzzle game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it goes without saying. Like I love games on my phone, just if it means it's designed for my phone, not like when they put Mega Man X on the phone. I'm like, oh, this is bad.
Also,
I don't want to do precision platforming on my phone.
It's
Threes?
been
Threes is real good.
And they put threes on Xbox One.
And I was like, why? Get out of there. That's the exact
reverse.
opposite. I was like, you don't belong on my TV.
it's been a number of years since we got a Castlevania game. I think the fans would love to get a new Castlevania game.
That's the part that gets me. Is like,
like
no,
this.
like whatever. Like, you know, let the mobile gamers have their game.
Sure.
Except we're not getting other Castlevania games. So that's what really rubs it in. Like if we were still getting high quality games in that franchise, then no one would care.
Yeah, and I don't want Lords of Shadow. I don't want the mirror of thing I'm not going to play. Just put a bunch of ones that look like the GBA and DS games on Switch.
For the longest time, it was an annualized franchise, right? We got one every fall.
They should put them
on
on.
handheld.
They should put them on the Switch.
They should put them.
And for iOS, they should do a point and click narrative based
sure.
on the Netflix show.
I think that's great.
Oh man,
That Netflix show's
Free ideas.
Richard Armitage is
Here at
saying
GameScoop.
that. I think they should. Marty, this is a feature. Like the best franchises that need to jump genres.
Franchises
Yeah.
that need to jump genres.
things that need like
I
a
like
good old
that a
shake
lot.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jump the genre.
Write it down.
yeah. Well, I can't write. Well, I'm in the middle of a show right
You
now.
should go out and write it down.
Damn it, you're my boss. I have to.
That is a good idea. I would
Yeah, I
read
like
that
it.
feature. It's pretty good.
Thanks.
Anyway, Castlevania Grimoire of Shadow announced for iOS. I think it's for Japan only for now, but I have to imagine it will come soon. And we'll
Do you think? Do people in Japan are they like iPhone? Is that an iPhone country? They Android users?
I think
They're
it's
definitely on their phones playing games on
Yeah.
the train. Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
When they have room to.
Well, they have room to. Yeah.
I've definitely seen people using iPhones in Japan. I don't know what the market share is.
Was it like? Was it
iPhone's confused.
Yeah,
Was it like
I don't
you
know how
and Tim?
representative that would be.
What's up?
Was it you?
It was me.
I saw
It
someone
was
in
me
the
standing
mirror.
in front of a mirror. They have Apple stores in Tokyo.
I'm just curious, like whether the mix there is the same as it is in
Yeah,
America.
I'm not sure what the mix is. All right, moving on. Shenmue 1 and 2 have been announced. They're coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC this year. They're not calling them remasters or remakes. So I don't know what the state of these games will be.
The definitive edition. That's what
Yeah.
they're calling
But they are somewhat like that didn't
There's-
look. Yeah, it looks better.
Yeah, I just
Like
don't know. I don't
up-res.
know exactly
Yeah.
if it's accurate to call them
don't-
remasters or HD
Yeah, I
versions.
wouldn't like. Don't think they're gonna look like how much better like Crash Bandicoot looks,
Spyro.
or Spyro,
Definitely not like
or
Shadow
Shadow
of
of
the
the Colossus. Yeah, expect it's like these games running on a emulator on PC.
up-resed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's
I
cool.
read they're like polishing up like some of the UI and functionality.
Yeah, which is
So,
good because a lot of
yeah.
that stuff needs to be modernized.
antiquated, yeah.
They're offering language options, and it's only $30 for both of them combined. Which
And
is
the big one's the controls. Like Shenmue is one of those things. If you go back and like play that game, you're like, I do not remember it controlling this way. It had like weird tank controls.
yeah, Shenmue was interesting because it did a lot of really interesting things first.
It's interesting because it's pretty bad.
QTEs were pretty much invented in the game,
Yep.
and it was like a box thing where like we have these things called QTEs.
Yep.
It totally had that slice of life, as a kid in Wisconsin, being like, oh man, I can go all the way over there and be what it's like to walk around docks and go to gachapons.
Is that you?
I can have a
describing
day
yourself?
job.
That was me describing me, yeah. But then all of a sudden, cut to 20 almost years later, and Yakuza 6 and Persona 5 do that way better.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've never played any Shenmue.
Yeah,
So
This
I
is your
wonder.
chance.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know this is my chance.
don't
Who has played Shenmue?
I have.
I have.
I played 1 and 2.
All right, so
I raise my hand for people listening to the podcast.
Theater of the mind.
so should I play Shenmue 1 and 2 today? Is my question. Too.
People are gonna be so mad at me in the comments. I would say no.
Yeah.
I think that game is a product of its time,
Yeah.
and I think it's hard.
Maybe
to go
these are
back
for people who played them and want to revisit them.
I think it's going to be very hard to go back to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is it's almost worse to have experienced it and have loved it and then shatter that like memory that you have of something that you once
Yeah.
loved.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they do a really good job with the controls and updating all of that.
Yeah,
But
there's-
I like distinctly recall really loving just sitting down and playing random mini games.
Yeah.
And spending hours doing that.
Driving forklifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for sailors. No, I mean, the thing is that game came out, like it was just after the PS1 era, right? It's like put yourself in that mindset. PlayStation 1 games. And
Shenmue 1 was Dreamcast?
Yeah.
And so now you're playing a game where you can go into almost every house and you can open every drawer in every cabinet in that house. Like nothing like that had ever
Yeah, this was
existed
pre
before.
GTA 3. This was like open
Like,
world wasn't a thing.
And so like that felt absolutely revolutionary and insane. And like me as like a young gamer, I was like 15 at the time. I'm like, oh my God, I have to buy this game. But then like the actual act of playing it like wasn't very fun.
Yeah, you just got really invested in doing all of the things that you could do and exploring everything that you could explore. And because it was effectively groundbreaking at the time, that's what the quality of all of us enjoying it was based on.
I went back and read the IGN review from 2000 or whatever it was, and talking about how this is. Oh God, no,
been
Doug
like,
Perry,
Doug Perry,
maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, but they were talking about how this is part 1 of the 16-part saga.
16
And I was like,
parts.
man, you guys got a little big for your britches there.
Well, the third one is coming.
That's true. We're almost a fifth the way there.
100 years from
Yeah,
now, we'll be
exactly.
finished with it. Shenmue 2 was an Xbox One game, is that right?
Original Xbox, yeah.
OG Xbox.
Yeah. However you call it.
Did it not come out on the Dreamcast?
Nope.
Yeah, I think they got
Dude, it was- Dreamcast
Microsoft
was way
scored
dead
the
by then.
exclusive on
Yeah.
that one,
Yeah.
I believe.
The Dreamcast was alive for 2 years.
I might not have.
1999 to 2001.
Rip.
Oh, man.
Like by the
Yeah.
time the PS1 came out, like
Shortest
or the
lived
PS2.
consoles. There's another good feature idea.
Write it down.
What? You run features.
I don't have my phone on me.
I do appreciate the fact the options for Japanese or English voice tracks. That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I don't know if the original game.
Because the English acting was not good.
Yeah,
I don't think
dubbing
I-
has
I
never
don't
really
think I
worked
played
out.
Shenmue 2. I for like if you would have asked me before the show, did you ever play 2? I'd be like, yeah. But my only memory is playing it with a Dreamcast controller, so I guess I didn't.
Yeah.
Weren't there several Sega franchises that went to Xbox?
Yeah, the
like
Xbox
Toe Jam?
was, yeah.
Yeah, Toe Jam, Jet Set Radio, Panzer Dragoon,
Yeah.
Sega GT.
The original Xbox, I think, was in some way was a successor to the Dreamcast. Like Sega had some partnership with Microsoft. I don't remember exactly how that was set up.
That sounds like you
I may have
up.
made that
You
up.
definitely. I think that's I think
No!
that's your Game Scoop line.
It was like, but it wasn't like Peter Moore went from Sega to Xbox and then brought a lot of his contacts with him.
There's actually, if you open up
That
an
makes
original
sense.
Xbox that has a Genesis inside of it, like just the full thing.
I'm trying to give real scoops, and you're just giving hot, you're just giving hot goose.
This isn't scoops. This is you.
Goof scoop.
You're Goof Scoop. I like that. That's April
Good
April
for you,
1st.
Dan.
That's true. I can't characterize what I was doing as scoops at all. It's
No, it's
half truths covered in like maybe it's not I
the
don't know.
fog of your memory. Yeah.
Does anyone remember? So when Sega became just a software company, I don't remember. What was the first Sega game to come to Nintendo? Would have been like one of the Sonic
Well,
games?
it happened in drips and drabs because they did like Sonic and Mario at the Olympics. Like they did weird
they
like,
did,
partnerships and stuff.
Monkey Ball. Monkey Ball was a
Monkey Ball
launch game for
GameCube.
GameCube.
Yeah.
yeah, Monkey Ball
Yeah.
and GameCube was
Man,
probably
I really like Monkey Ball.
dude.
Yeah.
So
Justin
you
has
wanna know
been-
who likes Monkey Ball. This guy. I'm pointing to myself. To people.
Yeah.
How come we don't have a Monkey Ball machine in the office? I don't know what that means.
Monkey Ball Machine?
Yeah.
I'm the Monkey Ball machine.
I don't know. We keep getting all these like Pirates of the Caribbean pinball machines.
version.
That might
Why
be
is it
Talk to
embargo.
Sam.
It's not okay.
No, it's not embargo.
Okay, you know what? A true pirate would do? It'd break embargo.
That's true.
If it was embargoed, someone would send around an email.
Its
being like,
existence is not embargoed.
No.
Yeah.
And
We've
you don't know
talked about this too long.
You don't
now.
know
I'm sure
which
it's
Pirates of
fine.
the Caribbean. It could be Dead Men's Tales.
No, it's being talked about on
Okay.
the internet. There's controversy around it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. This is all. This
Taking
is all
out that
from
spinny
Sam.
thing in the middle.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
all from Sam.
Well, yeah, and
They're
then
taking
I
out-
learned
Actually, I
all
don't
my pinball
think that
news from
part.
Sam.
That part might be in reps. We should move on.
Let's just stop talking.
Not breaking embargo. It's like, ooh, we actually did it.
All right, we're at
And here are our
23-minute mark.
impressions.
I'll check with Sam. Anyway, I'm not sure what's going on with Shenmue 3. I don't
Shenmue
think there's
3.
been an update on Shenmue 3 in a while. So it wasn't at E3 last year.
No.
Last summer it got delayed to late 2018.
That's not happening.
And then Deep Silver was announced to be
Yeah.
publishing it
Yeah.
now.
Good move.
It's a Deep Silver game.
Yeah. Seems about right.
So I don't know. Maybe it'll be at this year's E3 with at Deep Silver's booth.
Yeah, or maybe because it was revealed on stage at Sony that year. We got the Final Fantasy VII remake and Last Guardian coming back. And
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Two.
I think 2 years ago. Yeah.
I think a lot of people
2016, really?
I think so.
a lot of people don't understand that like that game was kickstarted with a logo. They're like, we have done absolutely no work. None of this exists. There's no
Kickstarter's
team.
launching now.
There's no nothing. Whereas most games that come to Kickstarter have at least had like the pre-production phase finished, and now they're like, hey, we want to ramp up production and get it. So it's like anyone expecting that game. I'm surprised their initial date was even as
In
early
20
as it was. Like, it was
whoever
pretty.
knew it.
Well, it wasn't. It was like that seemed like the future back then.
Yeah.
And then we get to 2018. We're
present.
like,
Oh,
that's
this is-
now.
this
Like,
is right now.
We're already talking about 2019 and 2020.
I think that's a 2020 game.
PS5 launch title.
Ooh, that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that should be a feature.
Along
Right to the
with
PS5 launch lineup.
Final Fantasy
There you
7.
go.
7 remake,
Remake, episode 1,
Death Stranding,
Death Stranding.
Last of Us 2.
Yep.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, Cyberpunk,
That's pretty
Monkey
good.
Ball,
Cyberpunk.
Monkey Ball,
And Monkey Ball.
Monkey Ball VR.
No,
Monkey Ball VR pinball. Just totally-
Monkey
totally.
pinball.
Monkey Ball Battle Royale. Could you imagine all those monkey balls?
That's a really
Someone
good
mocked
idea.
up like a leaked. Did you see this on? It was on Twitter today. Someone mocked up a leaked image from E3 that had a logo of all these different battle royale games coming. It was like Final Fantasy 15 Royale Edition, and then Destroyale Humans was one of them.
Okay, that's just pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All right, let's check in with the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Listeners, remember you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com, just like John from New Jersey did. And John says, ever since I played games with destructible environments such as Red Faction Guerrilla and Battlefield Bad Company, I was completely hooked. It seems like it has been forever since a game with a completely destructible environment has been released. Sometimes, when I'm short on time, I just want to jump on for a few and blow stuff up. The last few I remember playing, which I loved, were Bad Company 2 and Mercenaries 2. With Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction, now backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Red Faction getting remastered. Boy, that sounds dumb. That's the actual name.
I hate that so much.
Oh, because it's
The remastered
Yeah.
edition. And Crackdown 3, hopefully coming out this year. Do you think that there will be a re-emergence of these types of games? I've been hoping for a Bad Company 3 and a Mercenaries 3 forever. I love these games. Thank you so much for your time. I think you all do a great job at IGN.
Uh-huh.
Thanks.
And Mercenaries is really cool.
Yeah,
I
it
forgot
was.
that game existed till
Yeah,
just now.
there was like it was almost like Battle Royale now. Like there was a moment when destructible environments were like a fad.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like
years ago.
ultimately they're kind of gimmicky in that sense.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
you have
maybe.
to like pick and choose your battles in terms of like, is this what we want to spend like our fidelity on, or
Yeah.
are we going to go deeper diving into something else?
That's what Crackdown 3 boasted about.
Yeah.
All its destruction was in the cloud.
Yeah. The whole game's in the cloud. Where's that game?
Yeah, that game is also MIA.
Yeah, it can't come out this fall.
It is always funny. Like I'm playing God of War right now, and like no spoilers, but like Kratos does absolutely insane things in that game. But then like he can't like there's like a bramble patch. It's like it just completely puts a stop to him. Like that's it. You can't like this is it.
It's
man.
true, yeah.
There's too many things.
That's the ultimate boss
Yeah.
of all.
His godlike powers come and go sometimes.
I mean, that's every video game ever, though, right?
Yeah, but it's a pet peeve.
Sure, it's fine to have the pet peeve.
It's not in Zelda,
What?
You can't
just- you can
destroy
do-
homes in Zelda.
but you can go anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's what you're saying. You're talking about the
Yeah.
go anywhere mechanic.
Well, sorry, I was just Anyway,
It is true. I can't think of like the last big game where its main feature was destructible environments, right?
right,
yeah.
it's got to be Red Faction, right?
But it's been several years. So
Yeah,
if I would be down to revisit that game mechanic.
yeah.
think-
Oh, I guess
before
Siege. That's a lot of that.
Which
Rainbow
one?
Six Siege.
Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah,
Yeah, that's. I'm granted
Yeah,
it's in
that's
a
true.
much smaller space each
that's
map.
true.
but
It's in a
whole
house.
thing is- yeah,
destructible
yeah.
houses.
Yeah,
It's interesting that it's like everything is destructible, but then the everything always has to have an asterisk because it's like, well, not literally everything, So it's like
so you would just break the game if everything was.
they're always like striking this balance between like all of this stuff is destructible, but then these-
Minecraft is literally
Yeah,
really
that is true.
destructible.
Is that-
Yeah.
That is probably the only truly fully destructible.
yeah.
What happens when you get to the bottom of Minecraft?
The bottom.
Well, there's an indestructible floor.
Is it really?
yeah.
See, everyone has a boss.
Not everything. Asterisk to that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the first game with destructible environments? And was it Space Invaders?
Load Runner.
Space Invaders predates Load
Yeah.
Runner, I think.
Nothing predates
Space
Load Runner.
Invaders is like what 78.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, it's
Good
probably,
year.
It's probably pretty early. A history of destructible environments. Video montage.
Timeline.
Right down.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have my paper.
Well, then you had these other like destructible elements like Battlefield 4. What do they call it? Something with an L.
Levolution.
Levolution.
Yeah.
Or it was like event based. So you had
Yeah.
these like moments. Or like split second.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, Split Second
Which
did
was
do
a
that.
lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that
the
idea.
racing game, like arcade racing
Yeah.
game. That game was cool.
Bring that back.
Well, everyone's looking
Who
right
published
now.
that game?
No
Like
one knows.
THQ?
I was gonna say
like,
THQ.
Yeah, like who?
Could have been. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Fortnite kind of, you're building things and
Knocking them down.
Yeah.
knocking them down. Everyone's worried about this asteroid coming in.
I like
We honestly just read the news stories.
Worms has that mechanic.
Yeah.
Worms is
Right.
built on that, and so is Splunky.
Worms is totally destructible.
Yeah.
What
I think the
happens?
Kind of the point.
entire
Oh, yeah, Spelunky too. Yeah.
the entire level of Splunky can be destroyed
Yeah.
if you have enough bombs.
The Bowser boss fight in Mario 3,
Yeah.
so where he has to destroy the floor.
Oh yeah.
I saw your Splunky daily run video from, I guess it's been a month ago now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Every time just a real goofy death happens, I'll share that. Yeah. I still have not. I play Splunky every day, still not beating it. I'm on my quest.
Really?
Yeah, I'm on a quest.
You play once a day though.
Yeah, I play once a day. This is something I've been thinking about recently. I have a video game appetizer that I play. I play the Splunky daily challenge before I jump into the God of War or whatever, the big game, the Far Cry 5.
It's like your warm up.
Yeah.
Because you know it's not going to last. It's going to last.
It's going to
finite
last
amount of
5
time.
minutes.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty bad at this, so I'll be in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. All right, moving on. This is Ethan from Southern Illinois.
Do you also have like an aperitif? That's the after meal thing, right? Do you play like
I have a video game
Hearthstone
dessert.
to- yeah,
it's Hearthstone. Yeah. Play Hearthstone in bed. Fall asleep to that.
So you wait. That's really fascinating to me that you open up with Splunky,
Well,
then
that's
play
good.
your main course.
I'm glad you think this is fascinating because I was thinking about doing a little video on this. Yeah, I have an appetizer and my main course and then my dessert.
That's really good.
All right. I feel emboldened to do my video now. Ethan says, funny story. I got arrested because of your podcast.
What?
Well, not quite. What happened was I was pulling out of my college class parking lot, listening to your wonderful voices through my earpods when I was pulled over for wearing earbuds while driving. So now I'm stuck with $120 less for spending on video games, and I'm blaming you guys. Anyways, I had a question concerning the PlayStation 4. I've always been a Nintendo guy myself, but more recently I've been intrigued by Sony exclusives like Horizon, God of War, and Spider-Man. So I've been looking into snagging a PS4 sometime soon. Trouble is, I don't know if buying a now 5-year-old console at full price is worth it at this point. Since a PlayStation 5 will inevitably be announced within a couple of years, I might want to get that instead. So can you help me out here? Is jumping in on the PS4 boat worth it this late in the life cycle? And if so, should I get a Pro or Slim?
Yes, 100% worth it.
Yeah, I don't
Also,
think it's
a
too
PS5
late.
isn't coming out for a long time.
If you have a 4K TV, I guess I should say, unless you have a 4K TV, you don't need a Pro, in my opinion. I think it's a little too expensive for a console that's been out this long.
Yeah.
So I imagine a base PS4 is like $200.
I was gonna say, I think they're
That's true.
$199.
Yeah, and then you get a bunch of you get Uncharted, you get Horizon, you get Bloodborne.
I'm playing God of War on my launch day PS4, and it still looks phenomenal.
Same.
Same.
It's very loud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
It
PlayStation
does sound
sounds like it's about to die.
a rocket
Yeah.
about to
It is a
blast
death
off.
knell.
Yeah, I've been
Gonna
playing
have to
that
play and
game.
lift
off.
I've been playing that game with headphones, and so I don't like, then I take them off, and I'm like, oh boy, is that?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's too late to get a. We talked about this before. Even if we were at the end of the PS4's life time, like that's like a great time to buy the console because you have this incredible library. It's
such a
it's
good
like
feeling.
a feast.
And it's also even like we don't know if he had a PS3, so like you can play
Yeah.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
You can play Journey, like all these amazing games. Yeah.
And as Marty said, PS5 is, in my opinion, a couple years away. It's not a matter of opinion, I guess. But
We're right now 4.5 years into the PS4's life, and we're finding that console generations are getting longer and longer, not shorter, right? So
and we don't know, given Sony's track record, I think it's safe-ish to assume some backwards compatibility, but you still don't know for sure. Like, let's say you chose to wait, and then the PS5 was announced and had no backwards compat, then it's like, could have been playing God of War, could have been playing Horizon and all these great games. So
yeah, for sure.
Plus, you could just trade some of that stuff in and get your PS4 nice and cheap. Go on Craigslist, get yourself into more trouble.
Also, you gotta not wear headphones while you're driving. It's
can we launch that GoFundMe for him?
for him.
Yeah.
He broke the law.
We're gonna launch a GoFundMe. Yeah.
Anytime someone breaks the law in the name of GameScoop, it's okay with me.
What if someone kills someone?
In the name of the scoop.
Priorities,
Yeah.
Worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it. All right, this is Michael from Gainesville, Florida. He says, Hey, Damon and crew. First, I would like to say thank you, in capital letters, so much for bringing me joy week after week for the last 2 or so years. I've been tuning in, listening to your insightful views on the plethora of topics from the week. Gives me not only a better understanding of said topics, but it also gets me excited for the biggest games coming out. But I have a problem. While listening to you all talk about the latest games does get me excited, I have not had the time to play the games I've wanted to. That, however, changes next month when I finally graduate from university. For the last 4 years, I have been diligently buried in homework, going to class, going to work, and fending for myself. This is all changing at the beginning of May. It's like, don't starve. And I will finally have enough time to catch up on all the latest releases and games that I've missed the last 4 years. So my question I have to ask, what games since the start of this console generation would each of you recommend I play? I have all systems, but prefer playing on my Xbox One X. Over the last 4 years, I've only played Fallout 4, Horizon, Breath of the Wild, and Mario Odyssey.
Oh, well, that's a good 4.
Yeah,
that's a solid
That's
4.
it. That was all.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Your opinions and expertise in the industry matter greatly to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Good guy, Michael.
I don't know how universal the appeal is, but The Witness is my game of the generation.
The Witness, I think it's pretty
I love The Witness. Yeah.
universally beloved.
Also, if you have an Xbox, go on Xbox Live right now. You can download it for free for the rest of the month with Games of Gold. You don't have to play it. You just download it, and then you can play it in a month.
Oh, you're saying The Witness?
Oh, The
I was
Witness is
waiting
currently
for you to
free.
name the game. I'm like,
The
what?
Witness is currently free. Games of Gold. Dude, Games of Gold free games right now are The Witness, AC Syndicate, and Dead Space 2.
I mean, those are great, but also we have to mention on PlayStation Plus is Mad Max,
Yeah.
which I decided to play because I
game's
missed
really
it the first
fun.
time, and that game
Yeah.
is totally cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of universally beloved, though, I would say The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you want a big, really dive into it.
Yeah.
Trying to focus on, clearly God of War is amazing and Bloodborne, but if you want to focus on Xbox stuff, Witcher, I really like Sunset Overdrive. I think it's my favorite Xbox exclusive of this gen.
That's an exclusive, yeah.
Inside was incredible.
I was going to say
Yeah.
Inside. That's a smaller.
Yeah, you can get
more
through that in
bite-sized
3 or 4 hours.
I've said before on this podcast that I think Dragon Age Inquisition has been unfairly maligned over the years.
Game of Game of the Year.
We gave
We gave the game of the year. Everyone
We messed up.
No, no.
I wasn't loud
in
enough.
2014.
Opinion on that game has turned in the years since. Everyone liked it when it came out, and if you ask the general internet now, they would claim that game was no good. But no, that game's totally good.
It's not Game of the Year. We gave it an 8.5.
It was game of the year that year. It
Was
better
it just
than-
a- was it just a
that
year?
that and Shadow of War.
no.
That was, yeah.
What was it 2000?
No, the original one. What
Yeah,
was it?
Shadow of Mordor.
Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor.
Of Wardor.
Exactly.
It's a better game than Shadow of Mordor for sure.
Yeah, there was probably a
yeah.
better game in 2000. Was it Gone Home? Gone Home?
Was that year?
I don't know.
I think Gone Home
Smash?
sounds like 2014.
Mario Kart? I'm just naming
Tina,
games.
what games from this generation?
So I really loved Inside since we mentioned that one, and also Oxenfree. And I feel like
I haven't played
it
Oxenfree,
should be.
yeah.
Oh, you should absolutely
Yeah.
play.
should
But I also feel like if you're cramming in all of this time, I don't know if it's just a summer thing that he has time for. But smaller games are
Yeah.
better in the sense of you can cram more of them in.
Yeah, that's there's 2 routes you could do. If you want to go all 200 hours in The Witcher 3, or
You could spend a whole
Dragon
summer
Age.
just playing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or you can get through, Inside and Oxenfree and stuff like Firewatch.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
pretty much play through most of those in a sitting.
What's
I feel like we're missing. I'm getting anxiety because we're missing just dozens.
Oh,
of
so
great
many.
games.
I was going to say Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of my favorite games.
Yeah,
of this
totally.
generation. Super
Darkest
fun.
Dungeon.
Darkest Dungeon is on Xbox or coming
I
to
think
Xbox
it's on
soon.
everything.
I think it's been at least announced for Xbox. Anyway,
Yeah.
what's the elevator pitch on Oxenfree?
So it's kind of a story about your relationship with friends that you have kind of lost touch with. So it's an exploration of that, but it's also a total mind explosion towards the end of crazy mysteries that I will try not to spoil.
Yeah.
But it's just it gets
Spookies.
insane. It
Yeah,
gets
it gets spookies.
absolutely insane and
Teens
spooky.
exploring spookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that makes it sound cheesy. So that's why I led with an exploration of friendships that you've lost touch with. And so in that sense, it's kind of like Night in the Woods.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
better,
Also a good game
I
you should play.
personally
Another one I
think.
need
I
to
like
play.
Night in
Yeah.
the Woods so much. I like it. I've not actually. I was a little bit disappointed in Firewatch, and I know you both love Oxenfree, but I wasn't wild about it. But Night in the Woods, out of all the sort of, I don't know what you want to call those games, but
Indie trash.
out of all that indie trash, Night in the Woods is by far the one that really spoke to me, and I absolutely adore
Is it
it.
because you play as a cat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spoilers, jeez.
identify as a cat.
Well, so with Oxenfree, it's a little bit more fast paced and a little bit more exciting. Whereas Night in the Woods, it's a stroll in the woods.
Yeah.
For the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't mention Horizon. Oh, he said he played Horizon.
Yeah, he said he played Horizon.
Well, those are all, I think, pretty solid recommendations there, Mike.
And we didn't mention Zelda or Mario because you said you played Zelda.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Ooh, that was
Well,
a
I
really
mean-
good one.
Yeah, because the first Tomb Raider would be last generation. Yeah.
Rise of Tomb Raider.
Resident Evil 7, if you want
Ooh,
to
Resident
scare
Evil.
the hell out of
I
yourself.
really liked Resident Evil 7.
So did I. I really like the first 2/3 of Resident Evil 7.
I think I have like 5 extra gray hairs because of that game. So that's its selling
We
point.
were playing
too.
it in one sitting. We just got very drunk. It was Liquid Courage.
Wow.
I don't remember a lot of stuff that happened.
That's
Maybe that's
the
why I don't
way to
like
do
the
it.
last third of the game. Because I was just like,
You just don't
blitzed.
remember it.
All right, before we get to video game 20 questions, what have we been playing? I think 3/4 of us have been playing a lot of God of War.
You've been playing Move.
I've been I've been playing
PlayStation
literally
Move.
nothing. Yeah. I downloaded Celeste. That was about it. And that's as far as I got.
On which platform? Switch?
No. What did I download? I don't even remember. See, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Because I literally didn't touch it.
Yeah. We were making the joke. You literally just moved to San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah,
Too much life.
Moved up from LA.
Yeah, God of War.
We're not going to get too much into God of War. It's not out yet. We definitely don't want to spoil anything. Tina hasn't played it. But just to add my voice to the cacophony of people that have been shouting at all of you listeners at how good God of War is, it really is that good.
Yeah.
I think everyone
very-
knows that I'm a skeptic and also kind of a hater of a lot of like AAA games. A lot of them,
You're kind of a pessimist.
kind of an
yeah,
ass.
they just, I just,
It's part of his charm.
I have specific taste and tend to gravitate towards just kind of other stuff. But God of War, in terms of AAA action, third-person adventure, it's just absolutely immaculate. I think it starts great and gets better as it goes. When it starts, I'm like, oh, this is a very good game, and then I'm like, oh, this is a great game, and then I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like it just goes up and up and up and up and just gets better and better. It's
Agreed.
really, really excellent.
It's a very special game.
Yeah, I finished that, and then I am planning on jumping back into either The Last of Us or Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, interesting.
In preparation.
In preparation for both of those, and also because I haven't played Red Dead in a while, and I only played The Last of Us once, and it was in a single playthrough, like right before it came out. So
My next game is going to be SSX3 on the Xbox One backwards
X-word?
compatibility.
What's the X word?
No, it's on backwards compat, and it's up-resed and all that stuff. And
Yeah. Well, so Marty, why don't you do Red Dead first since that sequel's coming first?
That would probably make more sense.
And it was longer ago.
And it was longer ago.
Yeah,
that was
so
2010.
forget more
yeah,
about it.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Will you play Undead Nightmare again?
Ooh. Yeah, I think I will. I hope there's an Undead Nightmare-ish thing
I
in
hope so,
Red Dead
too.
2.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Undead Nightmare was real fun.
Yep.
And then Tina, are you going to play something this weekend? Or are you just going to be unpacking?
Absolutely God of War. No, I will sacrifice the rest of my disorganization to video games.
I'm so excited for that more and more people are playing this. And
Oh,
that
I know, yeah.
for finally everyone out in the wild to be able to play this because it's special. Games like this. I mean, I was gonna say don't come along often. Like I feel like the last time we were all unanimously enamored was Breath of the Wild.
Yep,
Probably.
agreed.
Yeah, we gave that game a 10.
Ooh, doggy. Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
And Breath of the Wild for that.
And Breath of the Wild.
God of War is also huge.
Yeah, it's a really
I
big
played
game.
it hours a night, every single night, and like it's like, how does it
yeah.
keep going?
It's so
It's procedurally generated, doesn't it? Yeah, they keep adding all this dialogue.
Usually generated story.
Yeah.
Build another giant snake.
Have another son.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
I had
go
a
through
daughter
it
in
all
the game.
again.
What?
That's actually great because that relationship is completely specific.
See, there you go.
There you go.
All right, that brings us to video game 20 questions. Our suggestion this week comes from Kevin. Let the questioning begin.
That's all we get.
We don't know where he's
I
from.
don't know where he's from.
Was it Kevin with a K?
Yes, it is Kevin with a K. I'll tell you that much.
How many Ks?
1K.
Okay.
All right,
He
so
spells it
standard,
with one
standard
K.
Kevin. Did this game come
Basic
out
Kevin.
after January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
Ooh, it's a newie. Well, I guess it's in the last 80 years.
That's also like this is where my mind goes. He said that. And I'm like, okay, within the last decade. And I'm like, no, that's
18
not
years.
18 years.
No, yeah.
All right, so current gen.
Is it a current gen game?
Yeah.
No.
Ooh.
Okay.
Right.
Got the timeline down.
So this is just to clarify. This is PS3, Xbox 360 generation.
Not necessarily. Could be PS2.
Well, I'm
Xbox.
asking. That's my question that I'm asking.
Oh,
Stop stealing his.
Is it the PS3, Xbox 360 generation? Yes.
okay. And then the Wii counts as a part of that generation, correct?
Yes.
Does it?
No, that wasn't a question. That was just me. That was me
Clarifying.
clarifying.
I didn't
the
count that
question.
as a question. For the purposes of this game, yes, let's
Okay.
consider that.
You know what I bet it is? Boom blocks. Are we?
Steven
You're
Spielberg.
Are we brave enough to do
I
boom
love
blocks?
bring boom blocks back.
Right?
Did this game appear on the PlayStation 3?
Yes.
Okay, so it's probably not a Nintendo game.
Was this game exclusively on the PlayStation 3?
No.
Ooh, okay.
Give me my question.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is it a shooter?
No.
Okay.
1x1 genre guy?
Is this would we consider this game to have a good story?
Yes.
Ooh.
That was very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a binary world, yes.
Was this game developed in Japan?
No.
Multi-platform PS3 game.
Yeah.
Good story.
Good story. It's like probably
Probably not Boom Blocks.
probably not Boom Blocks. Yeah. That did not come to PlayStation 3. I'm trying to think of what games. So we have it's not going to be. Wait, it's multi-platform.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like Uncharted or Heavy Rain or anything.
But it's probably an EA, Activision, or Ubisoft game.
Yeah, so it could be like
We
an
don't. I mean,
Assassin's
not
Creed
to
game.
pigeonhole us. But,
Yeah, is there character progression in this game? Like level
character-
progression, RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I love
Okay.
the ones that are gray areas.
I like it's great because it means it's not clearly not like Persona or
Yeah.
something.
It's
yeah,
not Final Fantasy.
so it's not like an
2.
RPG.
Okay. So I'm gonna count this as a question, but to help you guys out, I think so because this would be considered like a hybrid game,
Wow,
a hybrid of genres. That's why.
it's a big help.
Yeah. There you go.
Is it? Did Ubisoft make it?
No,
They sure didn't.
that's 10.
Oh no.
God, I don't know.
Let's go over what we know again.
Multi-platform of the PS3, 360. Not made in Japan. Not exclusive, so no
Yeah.
Sony games.
Not a shooter.
Not a shooter.
Got a
Could
good
have
story.
some RPG elements, progression elements, but
And a
it's more of
hybrid
a hybrid
genre.
Not Ubisoft.
I mean, I would have guessed Borderlands kind of fits those, but
and
then
good
that's
story.
And good story,
It could be a
that's right.
Portal.
Portal.
There's no RPG progression in that.
There's absolutely no RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, zero. There's quite literally zero.
Do you play as a human?
Yes.
Ooh.
That's a good one. Do you shoot guns in it?
Yes.
But not a shooter.
It's probably third
Third person.
Alpha Protocol.
It might
It's
be
got a
Alpha
great
Pro-
story.
Might
Yeah.
be Alpha Protocol.
You know, I'm gonna walk back the guns thing. I'm gonna give you a freebie because I'm not 100% sure you do shoot guns in this game.
Okay.
So
It's
other
possible. Probably not
weapons.
Alpha Protocol. Most certainly shoot
There's
guns.
hella
like that.
guns in that game.
So kind of like an action game,
You
maybe.
do play as
Yeah.
a human, but I'm not sure you shoot guns.
Are you slicing things in this game?
You at least do that much. Yes. You at
You're
least slice.
slicing? That means you use a blade.
Yeah. What?
No, that's
Yeah,
good.
no, other weapons and guns. Yeah, exactly.
But it's not like Revengeance or something because that was made in Japan.
And yeah, it's
Right.
not a Souls game.
Not a Souls game.
Those are the only two games where you slice things.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we hit an impasse.
Oh, boy.
We hit it's not Ubisoft, so that's like most games.
Is this a first person played from a first person perspective?
No.
No, what are you doing slicing things in first person?
Yeah.
Who slices stuff in
Well,
first
you know
person?
what? You're welcome to ask questions.
Who's slicing?
Skyrim.
What are you? It's
kind of, but
illegal to.
that's-
I guess you slice
yeah.
stuff in Skyrim.
Yeah,
First person.
and you could be in
Right.
first person. Yeah.
Should we try to get like the publisher?
I don't know,
Oh,
Marty.
Jesus. Oh, is that in a series?
No.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that is good.
That's a good question.
I thought it was gonna be Batman.
Not part of a series.
But
a
So
one-off.
it's a standalone.
One-off. There's no good one-off games. If it was good, they'd make a second one.
they'd milk it to death.
Is there multiplayer?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't have multiplayer slices.
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
And with good stories?
Impossible.
And no shooties?
I think he's
Right,
lying. I totally think he's lying.
I like the idea that he just answers random yes or no to everything and then just when we
Invents
guess
a
the
game
game,
at the
he's
end.
either like, sure.
You're like, wait, 5 of those things didn't make sense.
Yeah, could this be like a bio? What is this Dragon Age Origins? That wasn't that gen. Never mind. Pulling it back.
I wish I knew if the multiplayer was cooperative or competitive.
We're at 15.
I don't want to burn a question on it though. I was picturing competitive, but maybe cooperative would make more sense.
Like slicing with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm Battle Royale slicing.
Ooh.
Okay, so multi-platform, non-Japanese game, multiplayer game with a good story.
Third person, some kind of multiplayer. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Like Mark the Ninja.
Uh,
Did I have a story though?
wait, maybe like I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that Diablo's known for it, but like something like Diablo 3.
I mean, that's definitely as
Nonsense
RPG
story.
progression.
But yeah, it's too heavy on the
Definitely too
RPG.
RPG.
Yeah.
It doesn't have guns, right?
I mean, that's why there's a gun class in that game, but I can see how that could be a little.
Is it class
gray
just called
area
gun?
confusion.
There's like necromancer and gun.
Yeah, basically.
Well, it could be more
Gunslinger
Blizzard.
class.
Could it be like? No, it's not WoW. WoW's only a PC.
And 2 RPG.
2 RPG.
Overwatch.
Oh, that wasn't that gen.
Yeah.
What are you slicing? What's the deal with the slicing?
There's also lots of guns in that game.
There's several guns. Is this
5 questions to go.
Whenever we play 20 questions, I can't remember any video game. If you were like, Justin, name a
Like, did I
video
even
game
play
right
one?
now, I'd be like, I can't.
does this game have a realistic art style?
No.
Why do you hate this one?
Sam asks it every week, but it's always about like a 90s game. And then I'm like, I don't have any, like, do you, like, what counts as realistic back then?
This game,
GoldenEye?
Well, this game does not have a realistic art style.
Okay.
Back off. Apologize.
No.
Who's slicing?
It's too late to apologize.
So kind of cartoony then?
Yeah.
Cartoony,
Yeah. Ooh.
slicey.
Ooh. Nope. I thought it was gonna be Okami, and then I walked it back because it was a prior gen game.
There's no, he's got that gun mouth.
What are you talking about, dude? You slice. That whole game is slicing.
Yeah.
The game's so much slicing.
Yeah, you're right.
What is it? Maybe is it? Oh, but it's not. It's not Japanese.
No.
Oh, they've perfected slicing.
Yeah.
Slicing
the
is so
the
good.
rare Western slicey.
All right.
We're doing our best.
Yeah. Well, we got
I'm not
4
doing
questions
well.
left.
Oh, am I gonna be angry?
But it's not Ubisoft.
Not Ubisoft. That's most games. It's not first party.
There's no video game left.
There's no.
I'm trying to think about like what, Insomniac or like some of the bigger Western studios were up to back then.
Yeah, but it was mostly third party. It was mostly Sony exclusive.
Uncharted. So that
It's not like BioShock because clearly you shoot things all the time in those
so
games.
I'm like, are there any EA games that fit this mold?
No, there was just Madden. You don't slice anything in Madden. Oh, who else makes games? WB? No, it's not Batman.
Could be.
It's no, but it's one. It's one game in the series.
Oh, that's right.
David, what the?
Why are you doing this to us?
I'm not. It's Kevin. Kevin did this. Kevin with 1K.
Kevin with one guy.
All right. Throw out another question.
Did EA publish this game?
Yes.
What? What games does EA make?
3 questions left.
Okay, so we got BioWare.
It
that's
can't be Mass Effect. Oh, wait. Mass Effect's kind of hybrid.
Yeah, but you definitely have guns in that game.
Hella Guns.
Yeah.
And I think it's 2 RPG.
Could it be Dragon Age?
It's also 2. It's not. He said it's a hybrid.
Yeah, Dragon Age is 2 RPG-ish. I actually think Mass Effect is not that much of an RPG.
But it's a one-off.
Dead
yeah.
Space has hella guns too.
It's
And
a
not-
one-off.
and
It's
not a
an EA
one-off,
one-off.
EA doesn't do one-offs.
How
That's
many-
the whole thing. What?
But they did.
You seem so sure of it.
And there's multiplayer. EA multiplayer.
Well, it had multiplayer.
This just gets weirder.
Okay, so maybe we asked the co-op.
Was it cooperative multiplayer? Did it have
Possibly.
cooperative multiplayer?
It might have been on both. I can't say for sure.
Okay.
It's clearly not Motive because they're super new.
But-
Redwood Shores just made.
Third person.
It's not Dead Space because there's several Dead Spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Spore?
Mirror's Edge. No, you don't slice things in that game.
Also
there's 2 of
not,
them.
yeah.
It's first person.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Man, we're really fudge. Also, it's not realistic looking.
Slicely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is EA doing?
Spore.
No, you're not slicing.
Yeah.
things in
There's no
Spore.
multiplayer.
That's a terrible guess. Also, it was not well received. It was poorly received. That was
I
Spore.
like Spore. You're right. It's not Spore.
Who?
And you play as a human.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
And there was
Let
a
it be known.
pause.
Spore
There was a
bad
pause
guess.
on that. So it's questionable
2
whether or not you
questions.
play as a human.
2 questions. I did say you play as a human.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you kind of paused.
Oh no. You
Okay,
definitely.
you
play
definitely
as a
play
human.
as a human.
Yeah.
What else did Dice do anything with Battlefield?
And Mirror's Edge?
Mirror's Edge.
No.
Just trying to think of studios.
Can't be
Redwood
anything Star
Shores.
Wars.
Like it's nothing Star Wars. Star Wars wasn't.
Yeah, there's many Star Wars.
Was this game? I mean, I know the answer is no because I didn't make any sequels.
Then why are you asking?
Because I don't have anything. That's all I have.
Tapped out.
Here's what I was thinking about asking: was whether it was successful?
I thought we asked whether it was well received.
Yeah,
You
but I
asked
think
no, you asked if it had a good story.
Oh, that's right.
People like the story.
That's kind of well received.
did it sell well?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did it sell well?
No.
Ooh, that's why I didn't get a sequel,
Yeah.
which kind of answered our own
Right.
question.
Yeah.
Who didn't buy this game? What's happening?
Us.
Apparently, we did not buy this game.
None of us.
What slashy did they make? What cartoony slashy?
What indeed? You have one more question and then a guess.
Third person slashy.
Third person slashy from the 360 PS3 gen.
They
Are
didn't
we
publish,
sure it's a
like-
video game?
They didn't publish Kingdoms
my
of
question.
Amalur or anything like that.
The Reckoning.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't publish Dragon's Dogma. Could be
Yeah.
Kingdoms of Amalur.
They didn't publish it.
Who did? It literally might have been. It might be Kingdoms of Amalur. Can I ask a question?
No, but
Did Kurt Schilling make this game?
No.
Oh!
Not Kingdoms of Amalur. Well, it's still fine. We still get a guess.
I don't have a guess.
Yeah, for the record, EA did publish
Oh.
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Really? Oh, man.
But that brings us to our guess.
It's Spore, isn't it?
It's not. I don't
Can't
have
be
it.
Spore.
I don't have it.
I got it's Dante's Inferno. Is it Dante's Inferno?
Does that actually match?
That
up?
is a
It's not
slashy
Dante's
game.
Inferno. I'm just wondering if that matches up.
That's
There's
a-
definitely no guns.
It's definitely a
Yeah.
slashy.
As
Yeah.
far as guesses go, it's a good guess.
That is a pretty good guess.
All right, I will reveal the answer. There is a statue of this game's character in every single video game media office.
Including our office?
Released in 2009, developed right here in our own backyard in San Francisco at Double Fine.
Oh, it's Brutal Legend.
It is Brutal Legend.
Oh, I forgot EA published it.
EA published it.
Dicks.
And the worst part about me not remembering if it has character progression or guns or co-op multiplayer is that I reviewed that game.
That's what
Almost
time
10
does
years
to you.
ago. Yeah.
I don't think there's multiplayer in that game at all.
There is multiplayer.
There is multiplayer.
Because there's like this
the RTS stuff.
like
yeah.
base
but I didn't
building and
think any of
defense
that was
aspect.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
Ooh, Brutal Legend.
Man.
That's
Yeah,
so
Brutal
good.
Legend, the stealth
But-
RTS.
Dude, the
Secretly
EA
an
thing,
RTS.
EA thing got me. I completely forgot they published it.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that too.
Ooh, we should have done like voice cast. Like, does that have famous voice actors?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good. I mean, in
that
hindsight,
is a
that
good
only
question.
works in hindsight, in my opinion.
You think so? I don't know. There aren't that many games with like celebrity
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
voice casting.
known outside of the video game industry.
Yeah.
What if Kurt Schilling actually did help in the game?
Well, I guess I can't say 100%.
No, it does.
Yeah, Brutal Legend. That's a good one.
Donk.
Donk.
That's the noise of failure. Whoop is the noise of success.
Whoop, there it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You say. Thank you for the suggestion, Kevin. That is all the scoops that we have for this week. Remember, you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com. I feel like all your the energy's been deflated from the room.
We're defeated.
This is what, yeah, we got
Yeah.
whomped.
You know what?
was
There
it?
is,
I already forgot my noises. Donk.
but there is always next week. And until then, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Marty. My name is Damon. This is IGN Game Scoop, and we're out.
What a failure.